Voting is underway across Rivers State in Nigeria as residents cast their ballots in today's local government elections. The exercise covers all 23 local councils, 319 wards, and nearly 7,000 polling units. This election comes 6 months after the Supreme Court nullified the previous council polls held in October 2024. With Rivers being the economic hub of the South-South and home to major oil assets, the outcome is drawing close attention. Observers say the results could influence political alignments ahead of the 2027 governorship race. Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission has assured voters of security and a timely delivery of materials, including to riverine communities. Authorities also restricted movement across the state from midnight until 6 p.m. today. Our Rise News correspondent Andy Omano is covering the election in Rivers State and now gives us live updates. Hello, Andy. It's good to have you with us. Yes. What can you tell us about the election so far?
Okay, thank you so much, Nee. The elections have commenced eventually. They commenced to slow start, I should say, because even as at 8:39, election materials were still at many of the rack centers. But as I speak with you today, speak with you right away, voting had commenced. I am doing this live crossing from Ward 5, Unit 10 and 11 in Elelewo area of Obiakpo local government area in Port Harcourt, here in River Akpo in Rivers State. And the voting are ongoing as we speak. Before we got in here, we had told the voting had also commenced. It's going smoothly, and one or two persons, the voters I should say, are coming out to exercise their franchise. In terms of security, security is upbeat. We've not had anything untoward security-wise. And so we are hoping that will go as we have had it in the past 1.5 to 2 hours that the voting commenced. Nee.
All right, what has the voter turnout been like? And also, have there been any reports of logistical challenges? Has the beavers been working well? What's the experience like for voters?
Okay, voters' turnout at the start was, but gradually they are beginning to come out. For instance, we've heard that in Kana local government, in Ikwiri local government, Degema, and a couple of other local government areas, they've come out to exercise their franchise. But of course, Mobola is just past noon, and don't forget this election is going to last till about 4. And since it started a little bit behind schedule, well, one is hoping that more will come to exercise their franchise. In terms of security, we've not heard anything negative at all, because as at yesterday, part of the build-up to this exercise, security agencies led by the Nigeria Police and other sister security agencies had assured of the safety of those who would want to come to exercise their franchise. So far, so good. We've not heard anything that is negative security-wise, because while we are here in Port Harcourt Metropolis, we have our contacts across other local government areas. As I speak right now, we've not heard anything that is of the negative security-wise, and we are hoping that that will continue so that everyone who does have the urge to exercise his franchise in this local government election will be able to do so, and at the end of the day, those who win will be declared, and democracy at this level of governance will be put in place preparatory to when the state of emergency will be lifted. Don't forget that by 18th of next month, September, it will be exactly 6 months that democratic institutions in Rivers State were suspended by Mr. President. Over, Mobola.
Indeed, Andy. These fresh elections, can you give us an inkling of how significant it is and how we've arrived at this council polls, from the state of emergency, as you mentioned, and where we are at the moment with these elections?
Okay, Nee, it is significant because, of course, a good chunk of the Nigeria population resides in the local government level. And that is one level of governance that desire a lot of development in terms of human and infrastructure. And so if you don't put the third tier of government, the local government, in place, there is every likelihood that development that is expected at this all-important level of governance would not be that appreciable. And so it is very important. Don't forget that as at last year, 2024 precisely, the governor who was suspended did conduct local government elections that were nullified by the Apex Court. And that is what brought us to where we are right now. And we are hoping that if this process is done with at the end of today, if the results are not declared by the end of today, obviously, before 12 noon tomorrow, we should know. And once those to govern at this tier of government are put in place, Rivers people are already expected that this may just signal, be a vista, rather the window to the restoration of democratic institutions come next month, September the 16th to the 18th, to be precise. That is their thinking, that probably the president is waiting for those at the local government level, that is the local government chairman, to be installed before, the restoration of this democratic institution, because nature above vacuum.
And indeed, a lot of eyes are on Rivers State, especially seeing that a lot of people are expectant of an end to the current state of emergency in the state. But have you heard of any allegations of vote buying or any electoral malpractices in any of the places you've observed?
No, we haven't at all. Not just Rivers is a major feature in Nigeria electoral system. But like one or two places we've visited this morning, we've been to Eleme local government area, we've been to Ikwiri, we've been to Obiakpo local government area, and also now in Farga, that is the Port Harcourt City local government area. We've not heard of any such, or gotten any information as to vote buying as we speak. We are not praying for that, but if that does happen, we would surely report as we should, as a credible platform.
Indeed, Andy, and just as you spoke, more people are appearing just behind you, trying to vote at that polling station. And in that regard, I'm sure you must have interacted with the electorate just before now. What are their concerns over these elections? We already talked about the issue of, ensuring free and fair elections and people get to exercise their franchise as it went due. Can you help us understand what their feelings are at the moment?
Okay, yes, we did interact, and their feeling is like, look, they can't wait for the structure, that is the local government structure, to be reinstalled, so that people at this level can feel the impact of governance. Because since the declaration of a state of emergency, or should I say, since the political crisis in Rivers State in October 2023, this is one tier of government that have really not have it so smooth. So the Rivers people said they can't wait for this all-important tier of government to be back in place, so that they can have who to interact with in terms of their local government chairmen and councillors, who they can feel, who they can touch, who they can complain to say, look, this is what we want at this particular point, or that they could also hold accountable according to their, their electioneering promises, as it were. I wouldn't know if we have time. I have one of them here, the chairman of this ward where we are doing this live crossing, who I want to bring in to give us his perspective, his expectation, and the feeling of those in his unit as we speak.
All right, if we can have him briefly, Andy, if he's close by, let's have his thoughts on the election so far.
All right, we have him right away. With me here is the chairman of Ward 5, Units 10 and 11 in Elelewo, Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State. Sir, what do you make of the election so far, and what are the expectations of your unit when the chairman and councillors are eventually voted in by tomorrow?
I think, first of all, thank you for the question. Like I rightly said, our belief concerning this election is that by tomorrow, when our councillors and chairman have been voting, we know, of course, one radio, starting by a good governance, which we know the councillor will work under the chairman, and all ramifications to make sure that the ward get the evidence of the democracy, and that's what the matter.
So specifically, in 1 minute, what are your expectations? When I say are your expectations, you and members of your ward?
Our expectation is a good governance, which we are sure is going to take place. Actually, we have credible candidates. They are well selected, and they had a feeling for the Ward 5 at heart. So we have sent them a job, and they will do our job by giving us good governance, and that's what the matter at the end of the day.
Thank you so much for talking with us. And so that is it. They are looking forward to good governance at the end of it all. And they are hoping that democratic institutions in Rivers State that have been put in abeyance about 6 months ago, courtesy the state of emergency declared by Mr. President, will be called off come September 18th, 2025. That is this year. Nay.
All right, we would like to thank you for keeping your ears to the ground for us right there in Rivers State, and the Omano Arise News correspondent.